Hey guys, my name is Maggie, and about a year ago I got a selection of flowers and foliages from the local flower market and ended up drying them. This is how I decorated my Christmas tree with these dried flowers and dehydrated orange slices. The most time-consuming aspect of this festive activity was definitely dehydrating the orange slices. So, you'll need to grab a knife, a chopping board, a couple of oven shelves, a tray, some dry paper towels, and of course, oranges. You can experiment with other citrus fruits too, like lime, lemon, blood orange, or how about a tiny kumquat? Here's a pro tip. Make sure that the corky bit of the orange, that flower stalk thing, is pointing to your right or left on the chopping board when you slice into it. Just so it helps to create a beautiful orange slice that simulates the pattern of the spokes on a wheel. Cut each of the orange slices thinly, about 5 to 7 millimeters in thickness should do. Or for those of you who aren't familiar with the metric system, that will be 3/16 of an inch according to Google. But in all seriousness, about 1/4 of an inch. Place the chopped orange slices face down onto a paper towel to absorb as much moisture as possible. In the past, when I did this, I used to press the orange slice quite firmly down to get as much moisture out as possible on the paper towels, but unfortunately, this tended to destroy the pulp and squash the pretty orange slices. So here's what I'm doing instead. I'm just kind of placing it on the paper towel and then transferring them individually onto the oven shelves. You want to preferably place them on a rack that would allow the hot air to pass above and below the orange slices. This will help dry out the orange slices faster when it's in the oven later. Set the oven to 120 degrees Celsius on fan forced, or that's 240 on Fahrenheit. Bake them for about 3 hours in total, or longer if you think it needs a bit more baking to dry out a touch more. The main point is, make sure you flip them once over like a beef patty on 30-minute intervals. That's half-hour intervals during the entire time that you bake them. When it's nearly done, you'll see that the orange slices will be visibly more dehydrated and much less fleshy. The skin will be a little bit dry and baked. And your kitchen will smell incredible. These are the orange slices that were freshly baked last night. Can you see those really dark colored slices? They were actually from the batch that I dried last year. Here I've compiled a spread of the stuff I want to decorate my Christmas tree with. I probably won't end up using all of them, but at least this gives me a good idea of what I have on hand and what I might want to use. I bought these clear baubles from the craft shop. All of them are shatterproof, basically made out of plastic. I would have preferred glass, to be honest, but this is more affordable. They range from 8 to 10 centimeters, and I'm gonna stuff them with dried flowers. This part's pretty straightforward. You can't get it wrong. Just snip, snip, whatever combination of dried flowers you want to pop in the clear baubles. Pro tip, don't use the little stationary pair of scissors like I did. Get a stronger cutting tool that'll easily sever those rock hard stems. And guys, safety first, watch your fingers. Now, ideally, you should have started drying your flowers at least 1 month before decorating your Christmas tree. You do so by buying some fresh flowers, then hanging them in a bundle upside down. So the blooms should be facing down to the ground with some string. Apparently you can use dental floss. I guess it's just nice and thin. You want to dry these flowers or foliages upside down in a dark and dry room. If you kind of left it a bit, last minute, don't worry. You can actually buy dried flowers from florists too. The wonderful thing about dried flowers is that they last forever and they are gorgeous. I had no idea what I was doing when I was selecting like various flowers and foliages to dry, but now that I'm stuffing them into these baubles here, I'm really appreciating the ones with varying textures and structures, such as these feathery looking ones. The eucalyptus leaves were nice. Basically, when it comes to flowers, I selected some yellow and deep maroon colored flowers, as well as these really vibrant blue flowers too. But after drying them, I've kind of noticed they sort of turned this old aged yellowy color. I mean, it's elegant in its own way, like a sepia toned, or kind of like the aged color of the pages on an old book. But just keep that in mind when you're drying yours, like the flowers will most likely dry to a slightly more dull saturation. That's unless you press the flowers and leaves, but then you'd be filling pressed flowers into baubles and they'll be like paper thin. Nah, it'll just look like a couple of expensive deflated confetti inside the baubles. I mean, this is pretty nice. Once you're done, take a few moments to appreciate them. Now for the orange slices, you can either tie a small loop of jute twine around each individual slice, or for ease of hanging, cut up some small pieces of wire and bend them like such, so that you could easily hang them on the branch of the Christmas tree and let it dangle so it faces outwards. Alrighty, it's time to decorate the Christmas tree. Rule number 1, play your favorite Christmas playlist. Then, select your Christmas tree of choice. Always test your Christmas lights before you loop it around your tree. I find it helps to sort of do a loose draping of the lights on the branches in a spiral fashion, getting into the deeper nooks and crannies within the tree, as well as the branch tips as you go round and round, kind of like putting a long, glistening scarf on your tree. Make the fake tree as realistic as possible. I think it helps by upturning the tips of the branches, make it arch towards the sky. This will both ensure that the ornaments won't easily fall off, and I find it a bit more believable as a real tree in all of its fakeness. Next, we have the Christmas baubles. I started with the 8cm sized ones because I had bought a few more of those, and then I finished by hanging the 10cm larger sized baubles. I had only bought 4 of those. Can you see how reflective the plastic surface is? I guess it's one of the reasons why I would have preferred maybe the clear glass baubles. It's a bit hard to appreciate the dried flowers within the plastic ones when you have to squint through its outer surface to see what's inside. I mean, the alternative would be to purchase those clear baubles with a large opening on its side. Maybe we'll look into that next time. I love burlap. It really helps to mellow the super in-your-face glittery golden Santa Claus red ribbon that I bought. I like to keep the burlap and ribbon a bit unkept and ununiform. Basically, start by working from the top of the tree and work your way down, spiraling all the way, keeping the ribbon and the burlap on the branch tips and sort of crinkled. Time for our dehydrated orange slices. Basically just find, random spaces to spread the slices all over the tree on. Have a few slices in front of some Christmas lights too. It glows this golden color when the lights go on. It's so magical. Next we have the elves to give the tree a bit of character. We bought these adorable woody Christmas elves years ago at the discount shop. For something so intricate, they were super affordable. Just look at the little dudes. After that, I used some small tufts of dried baby's breath and added a sprig or two all over the tree. It really gave a softer, more delicate look, and I found that it sort of simulated snow. I mean, let's be real. I live in Australia, we have stinking hot summers, it ain't never gonna snow here, but at least one can dream of snow with these tiny, dried baby's breath. Who named them baby's breath? Last of all, make sure you have a Christmas pupper or pet by your side. Well, we did it, guys. I am so happy with this natural aesthetic of the dehydrated orange slices and dried flowers. As they age with grace, the colors will change and these decorations will continue to last forever. It can be repurposed over and over again. Well, I hope you enjoyed this festive journey. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, or let me know in the comments some of your favorite decoration you've DIY'd for your Christmas tree in the past. Here's some doggo footage and a time lapse of the entire process. Merry Christmas! Bye!